One advanced aspect of macros was not covered earlier. That's overloading. There are two shades of types of overloading, but they both work the same way. They both have to do with the number of arguments defined for the macro. You can overload instructions. Notice that this macro is named push, the same name as one of the instructions. Then you can enter these two statements. The first one is not a macro statement, but the second one is. The result is that you get these three lines of code. Which one the assembler chooses is based on the number of arguments included. Unless you use a command line option to suppress such warnings, the above code would issue a warning message because in the first instance a macro name was invoked, but there was no version of the macro with the correct number of parameters defined for it. And you could also define a macro that requires 3 parameters, and you could go on to as many macros as you need. Whenever you invoke a macro name, the assembler selects the macro with the correct number of parameters to be the one expanded. And you can specify a range of parameter numbers and provide defaults. In this example, the definition means 1 argument is required, but you can specify up to 3. If you only provide 1 register name, it's used for %1. By default, EBX is %2 and ECX is %3. You can, of course, specify 2 or even all 3 names, and the ones you specify will simply be used instead of the defaults. You can specify that the maximum number of arguments be unlimited by using an asterisk. This macro requires 1 argument, but accepts any number. The value of %0 is a count of the actual number of arguments, and the rotate directive shifts them all 1 position to the left. So this macro expands into 1 push statement for each argument. You could even provide a number of default arguments for this form if you could figure out a reason for doing so. Just for the sake of completion, pop all is the companion macro to push all. It will pop the registers off the stack in the reverse order they were pushed on. When you expand this macro, you specify the registers in the same order as the other, and it reverses the order by rotating by -1, the opposite direction.